Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with a Taylor Builder's Edition 614 CE guitar. The Builder's Edition line of guitars, of which this is the second one that they've introduced this year, is kind of a special line of instruments that allows Taylor's Andy Powers, their main designer, to kind of introduce some new ideas that he's got for some of his designs. In the case of the first Builder's Edition guitar that came out earlier this year, which was a K14, it also introduced the V-class bracing that Taylor has, of course, introduced this year, and that's been part of all the Grand Auditorium guitars now. This, as I mentioned, is the second Builder's Edition, and it features some of the same elements that the K14 Builder's Edition had, but somewhat different appointments, design, and different woods. This guitar is made with maple back and sides, which all 600 series guitars, of course, have. It has a torrefied Sitka spruce top. And while the first Builder's Edition had a fairly elaborate abalone purfling and abalone rosette and a little bit more elaborate inlay in the fingerboard, this guitar is really more about the woods and the building features of the guitar than the fancy appointments. So what makes this a Builder's Edition rather than a standard 614 CE? The most obvious parts of it are, of course, the armrest bevel, which Taylor has been using on some of their 900s and the 814 Deluxe and Presentation Series guitars. Very nice, nicely executed on here. Makes the guitar very comfortable to play on your right arm. If you've ever played a guitar and it kind of felt like the edge of the lower bow was pinching your arm a little bit, this is really the solution. This is something that a lot of kind of high-end custom makers have been offering on the guitars, and Taylor is really one of the only companies that is offering something similar in more of a production environment. Now, this guitar on the Builder's Edition kind of takes that concept a little bit further, and the bevel design, at least visually, is kind of mirrored up here in the cutaway, which Taylor calls a double carve cutaway, and it also has this kind of bevel type treatment up here, and it really allows even a little bit higher access perhaps in the standard cutaway, and it just really looks beautiful to have the bevel kind of mirrored on both sides of the guitar like this. In addition to the bevel and the double carved cutaway, you can tell that all the edges on the guitar are kind of curved and a little bit smoother than they would be on just about any other guitar. This is really something that Taylor has introduced with these Builder's Edition guitars, and I think it's very cool. It kind of takes the, well, you can say it takes the edge off, but it really does. It makes the guitar more comfortable to hold, rest on your leg. It gives it kind of a smooth appearance. It's something that's subtle and yet makes a big visual impact and also an impact in how the guitar feels. So this is on all the edges on the top as well as the back of the guitar. This guitar also includes the Goto 510 tuning machines that Taylor's been using as an upgrade on their more high-end instruments. They have a 21:1 tuning ratio, and they have the Delta style pegs on here. Beautiful tuners, extremely smooth. They're some of the smoothest tuners that you can find on the market. And again, besides the functionality, I think the design really complements the visual aesthetic of the overall design of this guitar. I mentioned the woods, the maple back and sides of the guitar, very pretty wood. It's got a slight stain on it and kind of has almost a violin type appearance on here. And the curved edges on this kind of enhance that violin-like appearance of the guitar, really. The top is a torrefied Sitka spruce top, and torrefied, of course, means that the wood has been baked or heat treated kind of to simulate the aging process that would usually take many years to take, and kind of accelerates that and gives the guitar a broken-in sound, kind of an opened-up quality right out of the gate. In the case of this guitar, it has the optional white honeyburst top shading, kind of a light sunburst appearance. They also make a version of this with a natural top. I think this burst really complements the back and sides on this guitar, and it's a beautiful overall appearance. I mentioned that the appointments are a little bit simpler than they were in the original Koa Builder's Edition instruments. We have a standard multi-ring rosette We have beautiful maple purfling on both the top and the back, and it has mother of pearl fingerboard inlays that are similar to the standard 600 series inlays that you would find on a standard model. Of course, the guitar includes Taylor's V-class bracing, which of course means it has two braces that go from both sides of the sound hole all the way down here to the tail block. That's in place of the traditional X brace. There are a couple of tone bar type braces on both sides of the lower bout, and this is Taylor's new bracing concept that was introduced on the Grand Auditorium guitars earlier this year and is now part of the entire line of Grand Auditoriums. And Taylor feels that this bracing really enhances basically everything that their guitars have been known for. It really opens up the dynamic range of the guitar, has great volume. It kind of balances the harmonics of the instrument and just creates a very balanced overall sound. And you heard me play it kind of softly, playing fingerstyle, but these Grand Auditoriums are versatile guitars. You can also use them with a flat pick. Maple guitars have always been known for their clarity, and this one really kind of takes it up to the next level. So this would be a great guitar for playing accompaniment chords. So a nice balance. It doesn't get overshadowed by too big a bass without sounding overly trebly. I'm really enjoying the tone of this guitar, and I'm digging in quite hard, and I'm using a heavy pick. So this is definitely a guitar with a big dynamic range, would work well in a lot of different musical contexts, and as such, it of course also includes the Taylor ES2 pickup system with the controls for volume, bass, and treble up here in the upper bout, and the 3 pickup elements mounted behind the saddle in the bridge. And I'm going to show you what that sounds like through a Fishman Loudbox mini amplifier here. I'm going to keep the controls completely flat, and I think you'll see that the ES2, as it has with other Taylor guitars that we've experienced the system in, does a great job reproducing the tone of this particular instrument. So that's the Taylor Builder's Edition 614 CE. It's a very cool variation on the standard 614. Has some very cool design traits such as the bevel and the special cutaway. I love the rounded edges on this. So it's a guitar that appeals to me both from a functional perspective, and the aesthetics and the visual choices that Taylor made on this guitar really makes it a spectacular instrument. So check these out at your local Taylor dealer, and please come back to visit us here on Peghead Nation for more of our gear demos.